Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Ofenze and I am your book bae. Your book bae is once again in the building with another video. Happy New Year. First of all, before we get started, I know that this is the first video of the year and first week of the year, in fact, depending on when this video goes up. And I hope everybody had a rested festive season. So let's get into the video. But I definitely do have a top on. In this video, we'll be having a look at a local author. Her name is Dayle, and this is her first book. It's called All These Little Moments, and it is a young adult romance. And I really enjoyed it. Shout out to Dayle. And just for context, I don't know if you guys follow me on TikTok, you'll know that Dayle and I actually went to Rhodes together. That's where I met her. So really shout out to her for actually putting this together. It's really amazing that people can really go after their dreams and write something and create something. I'm always so inspired by people who go out and do something and make their dreams a reality. So in terms of the book itself, a little bit about the book, it chronicles essentially a university student, two first years who fall in love. And it really took me back to that 19-year-old state of mind. So that was done really well. Cole and Maya fall in love. They want to have that first year experience when you're just wild and you're just meeting people and you're free, but the feelings that they have for each other are too strong and sometimes overcome these preconceived notions or plans about what they wanted to do when they first got to varsity. It's a coming of age story in some ways because you have an opportunity to watch them go through that or experience with them the university story, coming into their own, learning about like what it means to be in love. For some reason, they do both mention that they have both been in love before, but something gives me the feeling that it's not quite the same as it was. There's just this kind of gravitational pull that as much as they don't want to be in each other's lives or they don't want to have this relationship that grows and becomes kind of has a life of its own, they can't resist each other, and it's just that tension. So I think that tension was created quite well in the book in terms of how the book is written, omniscient narration. So the two main protagonists, Cole and Maya, we get to hear from their point of view. So we have some titles like here, this one is 9, it's Cole's chapter, but then the chapters that are just Maya's chapters are just titled by the number, but you kind of get the sense because she is the main protagonist, but Cole is the secondary protagonist. Like the book for me was so sweet. It really just reminded me of, little Offense or whatever when I was, as first year all those years ago, child, and it was so cute, so sweet, and did a good job of capturing that. I think like that experience, that innocence, that excitement of what it means to be a first year. You've got this freedom and you're just ready to like party with your friends, depending on what type of a person you were in varsity, if you were a social person or what, but just that youth and exuberance that comes with that time in your life. So I enjoyed the book. I found myself actually delaying because I didn't want to finish the book. Otherwise, I definitely could have finished the book in like a day or two. The book is about 180 pages, and just also on the structure of the book, I like that there was some interactive elements as well. So if you have a look at the back here, I just want to show you guys, like there is actually a playlist that accompanies the book. So some of the I suppose the music that encapsulates what the protagonists were going through, and also it's a big theme in the book, music and what each protagonist is listening to. Cole often puts Maya on to new songs or the songs that he likes or the songs that he wants her to listen to because perhaps they made him think of her. You listen to a song and you just want your crush to listen to it. It was giving that, definitely. And I don't know, I actually haven't read a lot of young adult fiction. as an adult. Of course, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of it, but this was actually a really great departure point, and I think that in 2026 I will definitely be reading more young adults. So shout out to Dayle for that. So we've spoken about the synopsis, we've spoken about the narration, like how the book is written. In terms of the tone, it's quite colloquial. Like I said, since we are in the mind of 19-year-olds, they speak like 19-year-olds would, you know. And then another thing that I liked about the interactive elements, we've spoken about the playlist at the back. There's also different ways in which we communicate. Like we see they text messages. So here there's a text exchange between Maya and her friend Reese. Some of the themes that we pick up in the book: romance, obviously, youth and that excitement, first year excitement, being a university student for the first time, that freedom that comes with being on your own, family issues, anxiety and anxiety disorders really comes up, mental health, and how different people can hold space for each other or can't hold space for each other, depending on what they've been exposed to, what they understand about mental health and what their own experiences have been with it. Friendship is a big theme in the book. Community, this idea of like you can go into a space and have never met anybody or environment and build such meaningful, substantial relationships with the people around you. University, school, staying on top of school. That's another thing that I really liked about Maya, the main protagonist, is when Cole was, you know, driving her crazy, making her zimzam, she still focused on her books, which was so important, because that's another thing, girls. Like, I get so upset when, I will say girls because I'm a woman myself, but people get distracted when something, a person comes along that they may have feelings for, or they start dating and then they get distracted and they forget their goals. For me, that is one of the worst things I think a person can do, because what is the point? Like, my main thing is that person wasn't there when you created these goals or decided that this is the life that you want for yourself, and then all of a sudden, just because they happen to be there and not necessarily treating you well or distracting you, it becomes a thing of now you forget yourself. So as much as that was a big, they kind of did at some stage get lost in each other in some ways, but Maya at least did a good job of not getting lost or consumed by Cole. So shout out to Maya for that, because there's nothing that I hate more than a girl who loses focus. That's just me though. So yeah, into more themes of the book. We've spoken about friendship, just partying, and like this the lifestyle of a university student, like this fast-paced lifestyle, the freedom, the excitement, transition from being a high school student into into varsity, and what that looks like, what that feels like, the idea of being away from home and starting a new life, or just having this opportunity to be a completely different person, a new person. You present it at home, or perhaps you get an opportunity to be your true, authentic self, whereas in the past you may not have been able to do that. So now I'd like to go into what I liked and what I didn't like about the book. So in terms of what I liked about the book, I've mentioned that the voice of Maya and Cole is very clear. They've captured this youth and exuberance and excitement about what it means to be a 19-year-old first year in a university far from home. I like that. I like some of the more difficult themes, like the backstories. That's something that people don't often, when it comes to dating and relationship, like the context that you exist in and your upbringing is a big part of how you interact with people, whether it be friendships or colleagues or romantic relationships. But ultimately, in the context of a romantic relationship, I think it's so much more heightened, because in a romantic relationship, a monogamous one, it's you and that person, and it's you and that person. There's no other people around who necessarily share that type of intimacy that you have with your partner. So certain things will come up that might not come up in your other relationships as well. So, and those are some of the things that also were covered in, I think Bell Hooks is all about love. Just how you've been loved determines if you know how to love and how you will love other people. So yes, that definitely comes up in the book. But I like that exploration. I think that it was great. I actually would have liked to have heard more about Maya and her context of her upbringing. So, but perhaps let me just reserve that from what the things I didn't like. And then what else did I like about the book? I like the story. I like it's sweet, it's easy, it's light. heavy in some cases, yes, but ultimately, like, it's cute, and it makes sense, and it's relatable, and it's just a recollection. It gave me like nostalgia, so I think it's for people who were going through that phase, they could relate. I like the characters also. I liked the dimensions that were presented with the different characters, that there were different perspectives and different ways of interacting, that you could really see some people who Maya had known for some time, like her friend from home, Reese, that they were able to pick up. It was also kind of hinting at a possible ship there that I was kind of concerned about, but I was happy when Reese kind of had a thing with one of Maya's friends, because I think it was Junie that Reese had a thing with, because I really didn't want a person to come in and interrupt the tension or like the romantic chemistry that was building between Maya and Cole. It was like a slow burn. So if you like that, this is for you. The cover, I think it's relevant about what's actually in the book, and I just want to show that when I received the book from Dayle, so this bench is actually, I spoke about this in my TikTok when I was talking about how after I had received the book, that I think that this is a reference in the book. And then once I read the book, I said, yes, there's the bench from the bookmark, right? So the bookmark says, Dayle Fente, hope you enjoy the read, heart emoji, Dayle Hannah, and it's a handwritten note, so I appreciated that. Attention to detail. What I didn't like about the book, I feel like we don't have enough of both characters' backstories. Do you get me? So yes, we hear a lot about Maya's point of view in the present moment, right? She speaks a lot about what she's going through and how she's frustrated and she doesn't understand what's going on in Cole's mind and some of her grievances, in the relationship, and feeling like she's not being heard or she's not connecting with Cole and she doesn't understand what's wrong. And then, but we don't hear much about her upbringing. Like, it's kind of like at some stage she kind of brushes over the fact that yes, she's come from a 2-parent household, her parents have been married for a long time, it's a loving home, yada yada yada. But I think that's something that could be explored a little bit more. Like, it's a loving home, but what do you mean though? Like, how is your mom? Is she, what kind of things do you do with your dad or your family? What are the dynamics? I'd like that to be explored a little bit more, because on Cole's side, we hear a lot about the context of his upbringing, the fact that he's had an absent dad. His mom has been working in a foreign country in order to support him basically his whole life. So he's been raised by his grandparents, and his grandmother is sick. So you get a very substantial peek into who is Cole and who has Cole been up until this moment, right? But when it comes to now the present moment, there's also some character development that I think could have been explored with Cole as well in the present moment. So with Maya, we hear a lot about who Maya is right now, but not really who Maya was in the past, like her context of her upbringing. And then even with her conversations with Reese and the fact that they went to nursery school together and stuff, you kind of get that background character sketch of Maya. But then with Cole, we hear a lot about his background, his upbringing, what his relationship is with his parents and grandparents. But we don't really get enough information about what is going on in Cole's mind right now. Yes, we hear about his anxiety disorder. We hear about the fact that he really doesn't want to be in a relationship. Like, what happened with his dad? What happened when they met up? What was that conversation like? Where did it go from? Where are they now? What's happening next? So perhaps that's information that could be reserved for the sequel, but I really would have wanted to hear more about that, because it's something that it's introduced, a topic that's introduced at the beginning when we get to know Cole, but then it's just kind of left hanging. So I have a lot of questions about how that conversation went with Cole's dad, and what is the way forward, if there is a way forward, if they intend to have a relationship after this, and how is his mom going to take that? How would his grandparents actually react if you were to tell them in entirety what happened? When does he get to meet his dad's family? Like, what is that interaction like with his siblings and stepmom? That's what I want to hear about more when it comes to Cole, right? yeah, so that's just what that in terms of what I didn't like. I think ultimately that's the main thing. I just wanted those characters to be developed more, but there's an opportunity for that if there is a sequel, which I hope there is. And what else? Because I think this really has the potential to become a series where we kind of follow them through the university journey, and then maybe once they graduate, then things the series can be concluded. But yeah, that's just a suggestion. So who would I recommend this book, and who would I recommend it to? So I mentioned earlier that this book, it's young adult, so I could recommend it to people in university or older people who just like that nostalgia, a young cute, anyone who wants to read a young cute romance about kids and just them getting to know themselves. It is PG 18 though, because there are some, risque scenes in the book that are ultimately better suited for a more mature audience, but nothing. Yeah, I think some from time to time gets a bit explicit, so yeah, just keep that in mind. And yeah, someone who just wants an easy read, like just use a book as a form of escapism, just to get into the minds of young people and not really think about whatever they've got going on in the present moment. This book is also for you. What I would rate the book with everything considered, I think I would give the book a solid 7, for the reason that I feel like it's a great debut. I think that there's a lot of opportunities for more in future, like with regards to the book and the characters and the story. I really want to hear more. I'm eager to hear more, and I like the fact that it was really well edited. So shout out to Sharissa for that, honey, because I can see that you did that. You edited this book. I didn't see any punctuation or spelling mistakes or anything, which is so important to me because I am that stickler for such details. So I love that too. And yeah, if you have read this book, please let me know what you think. You can buy the book on Amazon or on if you go to Dayle Hannah's Instagram, and I will put it somewhere here and also in the comment section. You can buy the book with the link in her bio. I think it is available on Take-A-Lot, and I'm not sure if it's also available on Amazon, but I will confirm that. And yeah. So if you are reading, what are you reading? What are your reading goals for the year? Let me know what you think. I actually considered posting this book earlier during the holiday, but then I felt like I wanted to start the year because I felt like there was a higher chance that people would actually watch this review if it was posted beginning of the year, as opposed to during the festive season where people are busy, not on their phones, spending time with their family, etc, etc. But if you do intend to read the book, please let me know. And as always, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, OffenseMDK, and Instagram, OffenseMDK, everywhere, honey. And that's on period. Have a great year. And yeah, we'll be back with another video soon. Bye for now.